the first time I performed, reading through the piece of paper into a microphone in front of 4 people. There's a picture in my office where I performed at Recovery Fest and I was in front of 14,000 people. 14,000 people, and the first time I ever performed was in front of 4. Absolutely incredible.
I am excited to introduce a man whose name you will want to remember. Matt Ganem.
Every time I say IMA, I need everybody in the stadium to scream miracle. IMA. IMA. IMA.
I've been in recovery from heroin for 13 years. My clean date is April 21st, 2006. First thing I ever did was a cigarette. Smoked a cigarette, peer pressure, out of fear of like getting made fun of. And that kind of followed my track record from cigarettes to alcohol was next to weed. And then I was experimenting with like club drugs, mushrooms, ecstasy, Special K my freshman year and sophomore. And then I got introduced to Oxycontin. And Oxycontin like destroyed my life in rapid fashion. And eventually progressed to heroin, IV heroin, crack cocaine. I was a punk. I was like a renegade, very rebellious. You couldn't tell me anything because I was just defiant.
So I met Matt, I was 16, he was 17, and we both honestly got kicked out of our homes at that point because we weren't making good decisions. And we met in high school. We used together, got arrested together, and then Matt got clean, and I continued to do what I was doing.
I woke up and I was dope sick one morning, and I was dying, like physically dying. And my buddy's mother's getting high in front of me. And she's like, "You got an effing problem, you need to go and get help." And she proceeded to stick the needle in her arm. And that's like the one thing that would make you feel better. And I remember dragging my skin and bone self to a bathroom, and I looked in the mirror, and it was like the first time in a long time I actually took like an actual look at myself. Not like fixing my hair or, making sure there wasn't stuff in my teeth or something. Like actually take a look, and I looked like a skeleton. I looked like death. And I couldn't even tell you who was looking back at me. And at that point in time, I was like, I have to try to get better, because if I continue like this, I'm gonna die, and I don't really want to die. And I was very fortunate that there was a detox bed.
And then I ended up in the hospital in a coma, and I had endocarditis, and they weren't sure I was going to make it. And my mother reached out to Matt, knowing that like he had been my friend for a long time and he was clean, so she reached out to Matt for help. And Matt came to the hospital, and he sat by my bed, and he showed up every day. And when I came out of the coma, he continued to show up. He just didn't give up on me. Like, I actually remember asking him, like, "Why do you keep coming to the hospital?" And he was just like, "I believe in you, and you're better than this."
He talks about his past, about the darkness, and he'll talk slowly how he came into the light and how he's learning how to stay in the light.
The poetry has been something that I've done since I was a kid. In like 5th or 6th grade, I started writing like little short poems, and kept writing, through middle school, through high school. It was something I always did, but like kept it under wraps. I didn't really tell people, because my group of friends, if you told them you were a poet or you wrote poetry, they kind of laugh and make fun of you. So it was something that I kept under wraps. But what's cool about the writing is I have poems from like detox when I was 18 years old, when I refused to call myself an addict, when I was struggling even with that concept that I thought the Oxycontin I was doing just got out of hand. So poetry uses therapy and treatment. There's 2 different forms that I use in the groups that I run over here. One of it is where I just do the poetry. I'll share poetry for the whole group, connect, talk about some of my story in between like the different pieces to try to connect with people. Spiraling and falling down, is really my calling now? Does it still make my heart pound? Standing on stage staring out at the crowd. But it's nothing but empty seats. Do I do it for them or do I do it for me? Do I do it for inner peace or do I do it to be free? Just breathe. Because I want to take your breath away.
Matt is a leader. Matt carries himself in a fashion that attracts people too.
I admire from afar Matt, and then once I came in here, I saw that he didn't just talk the talk, he walked the walk. It's a place of love, it's a place of support, it's a place of understanding. And I mean, it really is second to none.
It was simply having that one person that like believed in me, that one person that loved me, that one person that saw what I didn't see in myself. And I think he does that with a lot of people that work here, and that's why we try to see that in clients.
People would call me now in sobriety a success story. I think one of the best things anybody can call me is a good father. I've also been called an inspiration. I've been very blessed that I have a platform, I have a voice. One of the biggest therapeutic tools for me that has helped me stay clean is poetry. And over the years, it's given me like this platform and this voice that I've been able to reach people like across the country. I've traveled to perform. It's you know, catapulted me into this position. Banyan Treatment Center in Massachusetts doesn't exist if it's not for poetry. The connection I met Joe Tuttle doesn't exist if I didn't have the following based around poetry. And you know, trying to show other people that they can do it. I was a have-not. I was somebody that wasn't supposed to be anything. And you know, once you get clean, like the possibilities are endless.
IMA! Don't you ever forget you're a miracle. Thank you, guys.